Hey everyone, welcome back to Foreverland. Today I'm super stoked because we have a brand new festival to talk about, which you guys know is our favorite at Walt Disney World. So, out of the 4 Epcot festivals, the International Food and Wine Festival has always been a delicious treat to all of those Disney foodies out there, even just regular foodies out there. And that festival did kick off July 15th this year, and it runs all the way till November, so it is the longest running festival right now. You have plenty of time to get all of your eats in. But today I am here to talk to you about my top 3 meat-free items that I have tried thus far at the Food and Wine Festival. So let's go ahead and talk about them. All right, welcome back. So why am I calling them meat-free and not vegetarian? Typically, if you guys know us, know our channel, we usually do our lists as like the top 5 vegetarian options or whatnot. But I'm changing my verbiage to meat-free because as I've noticed with these festivals, I don't want to give you guys false information and say something's vegetarian when it's not. Unfortunately, even the plant-based options, which are supposed to be vegan, sometimes still do slip through with non-plant-based things based in eggs, honey. You just can't be certain. So with these items, they appeared to be vegetarian to me, but who knows what bases were used in some of the preparations and the pastries, we just don't know. So if you are a person who is worried about that, absolutely make sure you check with the cast member about the full ingredients list, what things are made of. Someone should have that information. So for right now, I'm just going to go with my top 3 meat-free items that I tried. I know they were meat-free because there was no meat present. So if you want to call that vegetarian, go for it. I just don't want to call it vegetarian and have one of you guys maybe go out and try something and have it be something that's not vegetarian. So just make sure, check. Always check before you eat something if you're unsure or have an allergy. With all of that aside, let's start our countdown and get this going. All right. So coming in at number 3 is the Wild Mushroom and Truffle Tart, which is located at the Rotunda Bistro. Now, this booth was so cool. I love that they are doing this year at the International Food and Wine Festival. They are putting booths deep in the pavilions and making you kind of explore them. And I'm really thankful for that because I have never been inside of the Rotunda building, the American Adventure building inside of the American Pavilion. So this booth is you order outside of the American Adventure building. You'll see a tiny sign. It was kind of hard to find. And you order outside, and then you get to go inside, and you get to eat your food inside. There is some seating, too, which is crazy. There's so many tables, as you'll see in this video. I loved this location. It was remote. There were not a lot of people. Plenty of seating, indoors, plenty of tables. You didn't have to go find a trash can or something else to go eat your food on. I absolutely loved this experience. So for me, I probably would have rated this dish higher if it was just off of seating and location because I loved this, but unfortunately we're going off of just food, so I'm going to talk about it. So like I said, this was a wild mushroom and truffle tart, and this was actually really delicious. I love mushrooms. If you love mushrooms, you're going to love this dish. My issue with this was the actual tart. So tarts typically are the pastry in it is pretty flaky, pretty delicate, delicious, yummy, buttery, and the flavor of this tart was delicious, but it was almost like break my teeth hard. So you have this really soft mushroom topping, and you bite through it, and you get to this tart where you literally have to like gnaw at it to get it to break. And that was really off-putting to me to have such like a soft, delicate flavor of mushroom in my mouth and like be chomping on this tart. So that is why it is number 3. It was delicious. It was worth the money. It was only $5, and it was a sizable treat, as you can see. The mushrooms were cooked wonderfully. The truffle sauce was delicious. It was just that tart. And I can't even say that it was left out for long. I went right at rope drop. Unless this was stuff from yesterday, this should have been the freshest selection of all day. I ran to that festival. I ran past all of those line queues, all of those exciting rides, and I went straight to the festival. So yeah, really good. Would recommend. Definitely would recommend. Okay, coming in at number 2 is the Beignet aux trois fromages. So this is a warm beignet filled with 3 cheeses. And when I got this and I ordered it, looking at it, I was really afraid, because if you've had a beignet before, you know that they're soft and pillowy and just delicious, like a cloud of dessert. And this thing handed to me, it looked like it was going to be almost like a custard bun texture. So I was really worried that I was going to get this like heavy, dense, custardy bun, almost like school bread. It looked like school bread when they passed it out. But I was super surprised. It's huge, first of all. So for the price, it's $5.75, and it's huge. It takes up your whole mini plate, and I was like, there's no way they got this giant beignet to be so soft and delicious. But boy, was I wrong. It was like a soft, yummy donut that you pull apart, savory donut that you pull apart, and it's got this melty cheese and this gravy cheese. So it was delicious. The cheese inside surprised me. It reminded me of biscuits and gravy, the gravy in that without the meat. So it had that same like kind of peppery flavor. It was really good. I really liked this. I loved how soft that the beignet was. That was my favorite part. I don't know what cheeses they were. It didn't say what cheeses they were. I would assume that there's 2 different cheeses in that gravy cheese sauce, and then a third cheese that is kind of sprinkled on top and baked. Either way, if you like something that's savory that almost rides the line of sweet, get this. Like, I thought this was really tasty and something that I wanted to keep eating. And lastly, like I said, argue with this if you'd like, but I'm switching to a dessert. This was my favorite thing that I've had thus far. And it is something that I knew I was going to love, so maybe this is biased because I had seen this in the festival guidebook and it has all of my favorite flavors. I just felt like it was going to be delicious, so it was. But let's go ahead and talk about what it is. So this was in the Tangerine Cafe, which, like I said earlier, they're really trying to pull you into the pavilions and get you exploring. So the Tangerine Cafe used to be like a quick service location located in the Morocco Pavilion. And now it is sort of like quick service, but it's run as a festival style quick service. And they have this delicious cake. So it's a pistachio cake, which if you don't like pistachios, you're not going to like this, but I like them. I just love any dessert that has to do with pistachio because it's just delicious. There's nothing wrong with that to me. It's a pistachio cake and it does have cinnamon pastry cream with candied walnuts. So like, sounds simple, right? Wrong. Delicious. So you get this cake. It's decent sized. It's like a normal dessert festival size. And the pistachio cake is layered with cinnamon pastry cream. There's cinnamon pastry cream on the top with candied walnuts put on top of that. And then on top of that is a big old tile, a decorated tile of white chocolate. So what I really liked about this dish is the pistachio cake is not that sweet. It's a little sweet. The pastry cream, not that sweet. Very, very warm and cinnamony. And then you've got these delicious candied walnuts and then the white chocolate on top. So the textures going on in there, so good. The cake was light, fluffy, wasn't dry like most of the cakes that I get at the festivals. It was tender. The pastry cream was delicious and light and airy and cinnamony. And then you have these, the candied walnuts were perfect. They were chewy and added a nice crunch texture. And then the white chocolate on top. I usually hate white chocolate because they do this so much at these festivals. They just throw on random white chocolate and it's thick and there's no flavor. But this was like a creamy, solid white chocolate. So like you imagine that bite. You've got white chocolate, you've got cinnamon pastry cream, you've got pistachio cake and candied walnuts, like all in one. It's just like, it was a mind-blowing, spicy, sweet, crunchy, salty. It was so good. I can't even. So that's why this comes in as number 1 to me. I've never had it before. And just that perfect bite of everything you could want in a dessert just really came through for me. So yeah, that's why it comes in as number 1. The pistachio cake and the Morocco Pavilion at the Tangerine Cafe. So like I said, this is just in the beginning of the festival. I'm sure that there's so many more foods that we're going to try. We'll probably come out with another video just because this festival's so long and there's so much to eat. But for right now, those are going to be my top 3 favorite meat-free or vegetarian items that you can get at the festival. Like I said, protect yourself if you are a vegan or vegetarian foodie. There are really hard workers out there that do this work for us. Vegetarian Disney World, Happiest Vegan on Earth, Vegetarian Disney World, all of them. They will go through and try vegan items, make sure that they're vegan, but I've seen so many times an item is labeled as vegan and there is a mayonnaise on it or there's butter in the bread. So if you're worried, check out those guys. Ask for yourself when you're getting the food. Don't be shy. Protect your health. Protect what you believe in. And yeah, otherwise, keep it cool, keep it safe, keep it magical, stay nice, and we will see you on the next video.